What's up, everybody? Welcome into this special edition of the P Coffee Brown Show. I am super psyched out. I am your hostess with the mostest, P Coffee Brown, and I'm excited to introduce to you guys some amazing men who have done a fantastic job on the brand new book, Bosses, Beards, and Business. They did a fantastic, amazing job on this particular project, and we're going to be introducing them to you right now. So, welcome in. Give us a virtual round of applause for all of the incredible authors of the book, Bosses, Beards, and Business. Welcome, fellas. Thanks for being on the show with us on tonight. Welcome. I'm so excited to have you guys here. What's popping, guys? Welcome in.
What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on?
It's good to see you all. Good to see you all.
Excited,
Yes.
inspired, and motivated, man, with all these amazing brothers. We fired up.
Yes, that's what's up. That's what's
And
up.
Koffe.
So I'm grateful to have each and every one of you guys with us on tonight for this project. Was a long time coming. It's been in the works for actually a couple of years before we actually got to it. Jason Thibodeau, myself, and the rest of the team, we kind of map out projects as the industry dictates what people want to know about, why they want to know about, and why they want to know about it, and how we can participate in making certain that that information is disseminated through our publishing houses. So right now, people are looking for opportunities to have their own businesses, to thrive in business, and they're just looking for answers. And this project is going to help them to be able to answer some of the questions that they have as it pertains to business. So grateful to have all of you guys on. And so I will go ahead and make the announcement. Congratulations to you guys. You are international bestsellers. So congratulations to each and every one of you.
Awesome, man.
On the international bestsellers list.
Awesome.
Super psyched out about that. We literally just found out about 10 minutes ago. Jason and I were talking. I was like, we with the numbers aren't, the math ain't mathing. And then he was like, really? And then I said, yeah, I'm checking right now. And then I looked, I said, ah! We made it. So super excited. That is our, I want to say, 17th time on the international bestsellers list. So to God be all the glory on that. So enough about that stuff. Enough about the announcements. Let's get to these awesome writers that are in the building on tonight. So listen, guys, you know how it goes. As you're coming in and you're connecting with us, go ahead and share on your platforms. Let your friends, your family, your neighbors, your relatives know that you guys are here with us, and we're actually connecting with the amazing writers from this project. So, I just want to tell y'all, I have read the book in totality. Super kudos to our editing team. They did a bang up job on this book. It looks so pristine. They did such a fantastic job on it. For those of you, some of my authors already have received their books, others they're en route to them. And also, guys, while you're here in the platform with us, make sure that you connect with your favorite author. Grab the book. They still are offering the introductory pricing of the $21.97 for the paperback to get your autographed copy. So go ahead, connect with them, grab that copy now, because the price will be changing over the next few days. All right. So you want to grab it at the introductory offer pricing. So one thing I can tell you guys is that the guys really put their heart on their sleeves in this book. That's one thing that I really enjoyed about checking out, everybody's publications. So I want to get right to the meat and potatoes. So one of my good friends is on this project. I have known him for many years. Somebody has background noise going on. I've known him for many years. We actually ran another business together a long time ago, and we've actually been connecting on social media for a long time. I came to him, I said, hey, do you want to come on? Are you interested in writing with us? And he was like, oh my God, yeah, I'm definitely interested in writing with you guys. I was, yeah, absolutely. And so he came on board and got the training that he needed, got some coaching from Jason Thibodeau, who is one of our strategic coaches with the actual the book company. And so he got on here and he killed it. Super proud of what he did with this chapter. Ramon Frias, my
Oh man,
friend, what's
my
up?
friend.
What's
You
up?
know,
Yeah.
awesome, awesome.
Yes,
Yeah,
my
yes.
friend for years now. Ramon, listen, you talk so much about your roots, where you came from, your journey as a businessman up to the point that you are now. You've been in the insurance industry for many, many years, changing lives, adding value to people. Tell us about this journey with your experience becoming a published author. What was that journey like?
Well, first and foremost, thank you. Thank you for everything you've done, Kofi, and all the gentlemen behind it who just supported me through this journey. And, this is like a dream come true. Because I've always said, man, I've been in business for quite some time now. People say, hey, Ramon, are you ever going to write a book? And I thought it was just something so difficult and so challenging to attain. And there you are, you reach out to me. It's like almost it's a universal law. When you're doing the right things and you partner up with the right individuals, the opportunities show up. And it's our job to grab it and have faith in the individuals that are going to walk you through that process. And that's all I did. I said, I have faith in all the gentlemen that I'm working with. I have faith on Coffee, faith with you and everybody else behind the scenes. So I'm grateful. It's been an amazing journey. And I can never forget the best advice that Jason gave me when I started writing. And it was so simple and profound because I was getting a little bit overwhelmed. I'm like, where do I begin? And Jason simply said, just write. That is like, wow, wow. And I took that to heart and I took the face value of that and I just started writing because we get hung up on the details. Well, let me make sure I have the proper grammar. Just write, and I just started writing, and I got so much into it that I was having tears through the process. Because not only because I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I just started writing from my heart, and everything was just coming out. I'm just write, and that's what I did, and I think it was an incredible experience for me because it allowed me to go back to my roots. And as I'm writing the book, I'm replaying my childhood as I was writing. And to me, that was like a double take because it's an amazing experience because I'm reliving it as I'm typing it.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah.
And the fact that I'm able to do that to impact other people that are dreaming about, hey, maybe I can own a business, maybe I can do it through perseverance, hard work, dedication, belief, anything is possible. So I'm just super grateful, thankful to be here with each and every one of you. Really.
That's what's up. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Yeah.
again.
Good.
Thank you.
Super
Good.
dope. Super dope. Huge congratulations to you on that. I'm going to move right along with these intros to let you guys know who's in the building on tonight. When I tell you, first of all, definitely want to give a huge ups to our VP of Communications who does a crazy bang up job every single time we publish a book. Gracia Bridges in the comments. Y'all give it up for Gracia. She's a strategic coach and she is our VP of Communications, and she killed
Amazing.
it. Make sure that everything that the guys need was taken care of. Just totally a phenomenal leader in her own right. And so honored to have her rolling with us. So let me introduce you to another one of the amazing men on this project. He and I go way back a long time. And he and I were in business together a long time ago as well. And we've been friends ever since. He is actually the voice of DFG Publishing House, and he is in a conference right now. So we want to grab him while he's here in the building with us. My great friend, I think this is your fourth international best-selling project because you have hit the list. Oh,
Wow.
fifth international best-selling project, Mr. Jason Williams. Jason,
Hello,
All right.
everybody. Hello.
What's up, Jason?
voice of DFG
What's
is
up, Jay?
in the building.
How is
Jason,
everybody doing tonight?
Amazing.
listen, they giving these people
Awesome,
life
brother.
right now, giving them life. Let me ask you, because I know you're at a conference right now. You'll be selling your books while you're there, connecting with people while you're at the conference. Let me ask you, what was it like this time? You know, this time was a little bit different for even you as a writer for this particular
Right.
project. It wasn't like anything else that you've done with us. Talk to us about it.
Um, I think the major difference between this book and all the other books were it was most of them were more relational.
Mhm.
This made me stretch into my business acumen and think about, especially for the topic that I had. Um, are we doing that? I just thought about that.
I
Am I
didn't, I
saying
didn't, I
are we
didn't, I
good?
didn't get that out yet. I didn't get that out
Okay,
yet.
okay. That's why I checked first because I know how we do this. I just want to make sure I wasn't overstepping. All right. Okay,
Right,
so
right, right.
all right. So even with the chapter that I had, it made me because I'm one of those people that have no problem stepping out on the edge. Um, so with the subject matter that I had to deal with, it made me kind of really dig into business history as well as personal history. Not divulging a whole lot, but at the same time, um, from my failures, my trials of trying things and doing things and coming out and seeing where things could have been done better and things like that. So in this book, you will get a level of expertise without having to bump your head a few times. I don't know if anybody said that yet tonight, but the reality is, if you get this book will definitely help you navigate through business and navigate it to a point where you can skip some of the failures, skip some of the bruises, skip some of the scrapes and bumps, and move into your next a lot smoother than most of us probably had to.
I love it. I love it. Let's give it up for Jason Williams in the building.
All right, Mr. Williams, you're the
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, and one other thing, these guys are amazing.
Yeah,
I
they
have
are.
not had the pleasure of reading all of it, but my books arrived yesterday, and I started kind of digging into some of it. Kudos to everyone on the book.
They killed
Kudos
it.
to everyone.
They killed it. They
Team
killed
effort.
it. Yes. Thank you, Jason. Listen, I got somebody else on here who I actually met directly through our vice president of public relations, Jason, and media, PR and media, Jason Thibodeau. But met this young man, and we've been rolling ever since. He's like my first cousin since then. First cousin. Super excited to have him on the project. He did a heck of a job. First time writing ever and killed it. Did a phenomenal job. Let's give it up for Vincent D. Melvin in the building.
Glad to be here.
I said, what happened? Vincent,
Hey,
you did a phenomenal job. I was like, this is clean.
thank you.
It was clean. It was real clean. So
Uh,
we're excited
First
about
and
having you
foremost,
with us. Vincent,
mhm,
tell us how about your journey in your absolute first writing experience. And congratulations on becoming an international bestseller out the starter
all
gate.
right, thank you.
Where they do that?
Well, all right. Well, first and foremost, I want to give a huge thanks to Jason and Coffee. You guys were phenomenal for bringing me in on a project. With my particular chapter, these are things that me and Jason would just sit around just talking regularly. And when he initially, approached me about it, he said, "Man, just give it a shot." So with my particular chapter, it stuck out to me from the time I seen it. It was more tailor made for me. I'm not going to give too much into my chapter, but it like Ramon was talking about, it took me home to some things from my childhood. It helped me to better communicate some of the challenges and some of the methodology that I use to go through certain things that was taught to me by my father. And I just took the time, and it helped me reflect on some things that I had forgot, and made me have a greater appreciation for him.
I love it. I love it. Kudos to Pops for instilling such amazing wisdom in you, and you turn around and manifest through your publication. So definitely kudos to
Thank
you.
you.
Let's give it up for Vincent D. Melvin.
Vincent D. Melvin in the house.
Yes, yes. So next on the docket, we've been friends for forever. He is my bestie. His wife is my bestie. Got bestie and the wife and the hubby, my friends for life. Huge respect for them. They just did a phenomenal stage play. His wife just did a debut on this past Sunday did an incredible job on their debut performance as an actress, in a really sharp stage play with some other friends of ours here in the Texas region. Let's give it up for the VP of Public Relations and Media, Mr. Jason Thibodeau in the building. Mr. Jason Thibodeau, welcome, welcome. OG in the building. OG.
The man.
Jason has literally been with us since day one. He's been here since day one. He was here when I was sharing with him my heart on starting the project, on just talking about what I was feeling about, forging forward with the publishing house and everything. And he was like, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. So, just super grateful to have him on board with us once again. He doesn't write all the time, but when he can hop in and, share some wisdom through any publication that we have, we're always grateful to have him with us. So welcome, Jason. What was with you with this one? Because even you mentioned that this one was definitely different than anything else we've done.
Like Jason Williams mentioned, most of the books that we've written in the past have been more relational, whether it was raising kids or just dealing with a spouse or family, etc. And in this one, I mean, don't get me wrong, there is a relational aspect to it, but it gets addressed from a completely different scenario, if you will. As you're building business, as you are changing your mindset, as you're growing yourself, more importantly, right? And I guess one of the things that I had to do, even myself, is, even though I've written in multiple publications, is to step back. And as Ramon said, just give of myself. So in my chapter, basically, I just wrote about how I changed my mindset as I dealt with different scenarios, different challenges, to get to being more on the entrepreneurial spirit, etc. In terms of building business, stepping out into acting. I mean, that's not an easy thing to do. You definitely got to trust in yourself and also believe in yourself to do that. And I mean, that correlates with business. I mean, that's all intertwined, right?
Yes.
And how I had to deal with my job, with all of the different things that are going on. So, basically I had to give with the, of myself, and just, it gave me an opportunity to open up even more, to kind of to allow people into me more, to see how I got to where I am. And hopefully that can help some other people do this, do the same.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So big kudos to you. Thank you for being on the project, leading the charge, coaching some of the guys. Super grateful for that. This was one of the projects where, Jason and I had a candid conversation, him, myself, Jason Williams, in regards to who was going to really be the support for this particular project. We kind of didn't want the ladies to do it, even though Lady Gracia stepped up to the plate and definitely added tremendous value, but we kind of wanted the guys to be able to lean into a guy. So, as we were conversing, Jason Williams didn't have as much time this time, but Jason Thibodeau said, hey, listen, I'll create a space to support the guys. As long as we all in this together and they're willing to do the work, I will create the space to support them. And so I want to bring another new author to the forefront. Did a crazy job, already had 2 book orders already. He is like on fire, super excited, traveling, doing some amazing things, and got in here, has sent his own solo book manuscript. And so we're looking over that right now to see what we're going to do to get him to that next level. But he did a fantastic job with his chapter as well. He even knows who I'm talking about. He just unmuted himself. Let's give it up for my boy Earl Johnson in the building. Yes, Earl, welcome. Congratulations on your first international best-selling book. Huge.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your girl is in the building.
Thank you.
In the building. She definitely recommended you, said, she was like, hey, I got somebody that I know would be an amazing young man to add to the project. And I was like, okay, where you at? And, we had the conversation, and immediately he came on board and was ready to rock and roll. Jason was like, man, Earl is nervous, but I told him, man, just right. Let's go. Let's write.
That's right.
So welcome, Earl. Tell us a little bit about your journey. What happened with you as you got started with us on the project?
Well, mine was pretty simple. I had a cheat code, so I'll call Jason. Jason Thibodeau, light skinned Jason. I would call.
He said light skin Jason.
You know,
I promise you, only somebody from up north would say something like that. Only Northerners, we have a tendency to say, brown skin, light skin, the shorty, shorty up from around the way. That one,
yeah,
the one from around the way.
yeah. So I called Gracia. I text her a lot. She gave me a blueprint. I just followed her blueprint. So mine was pretty easy. I just followed the blueprint that she laid out. Because I was nervous. It took me like a week to really dig into it. But once I did, man, it was a breeze, especially after speaking to everybody. So I gotta thank all the gentlemen, and I want to thank you, Koffe, again, Jason Thibodeau, Gracia. Thank you so much for all the support, for allowing me to be on this project. It means a lot to me and my family. So, and this was, like I said the other day, it was on my bucket list. I wrote this bucket list in 2016. So, for me to be dream come true, dream
Yeah,
come true.
yeah,
So,
that's
thank you so much. I don't got a lot to say. I also want to thank, my godmother, for recommending me to you. You know, she said to me, and this is how it all started. She said, "Son, be ready." And I want to say like 3 days later, you called me Coffee.
oh
No
wow,
lie. So
wow.
thank you so much, man. I'm humble and I'm grateful.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Congratulations. Congratulations. Give it up for your boy Earl in the building. Come on now. Give it up for Earl. That's what I'm talking about. What I love about this is all these men got some beards. Y'all listen, it was some work trying to make sure I got everybody with hair on their face. Listen, we can't have nobody run around with smooth skin and talking about bosses, beards, and business. That ain't gonna work. Oh my gosh. I
And
love
she's
it.
not playing because actually she threatened me earlier. I told her I cut about 2 inches off of mine, getting ready for a project, and she got mad at me.
I asked him, I said, did
So
Chrissy,
yeah,
did
she likes
Chrissy
the beards.
approve? Did Chrissy approve of this? I'm trying to figure out if Chrissy approved of this. I mean,
Hey man, I'm a working actor, and it is what it is.
gotta do what you gotta do out here.
Get ready
Listen,
for
get the money. Get the money. Get the money. Listen. But you know what? Not just the beards, but the actual business acumen, men that actually had viable businesses. That was the bigger challenge than the beards, was to make sure that these men were solid, they were vetted. Their success was not hinged on the back of somebody else or anything like that. So, super excited about them. So I reached out to another one of my friends who I've known since I've been here in Texas, met him a while ago. He's always doing so many phenomenal things for the community, adding value with young men and just leading the charge to help them to identify ways to become healthy, solid, morally compassed men. And also, he's huge in the health and wellness industry as well, doing some awesome things. So super excited to have my great friend John Mitchell in the building. Y'all give it up for my boy JM in the building. John, welcome. So glad to have you. You got to unmute yourself, John. So glad to have you on with us. Unmute, John.
Oh, thank you.
John,
Can you
tell
hear
us
me?
about your journey with the book. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Welcome, and tell us about your journey with the book, John. Welcome.
Uh, well, first of all, again, I want to thank you too. Thank you guys, Jason Koffe, for acknowledging us, giving us the opportunity to even be a part of it. I'm real appreciative of this because this is beyond what I would have even thought of. And I try to think of a lot of things to do to add to people and grow and things of that nature. So this is really a big opportunity, and I'm really appreciative of it to start that first. I'm always humble when people want to connect with you. So that's a big thing. But what really stuck out with what y'all are doing, what we all doing, is the strategy that you guys use, from giving us our topics to putting us together. The business boss, all everything's a strategy to me when you're trying to reach people and do things on a different level. So I'm real humbled by this. I want to really get that point across first, and then the method that y'all use. Not to put too much out on about the book, and it really gravitated to me because it's three things that I got out of this. Just trying to add value to the people and let people know we can do it. You can be this. You can have all these types of things. Just from the brothers that you pull together and the strategy y'all use. One of them is creation. It's creation. Y'all is really big on how y'all are and what you did to put this thing together. And it's the next one was connection. Just connecting on how y'all did this. This is really big. And the last one was contribution. Contribution. So I'm humbled by this. So when you gave us the topics and you told me about it, yeah, I want to make sure I had a beard though, make sure I let my beard grow so I could fit in. But yeah, that was big. That was real big. That was real big because I don't give kudos to things I don't think need kudos. But when I add and pour in, I'm really serious about it because we want to reach the people, change the community, change the world, change lives, build motivation, and all this stuff. Especially, I don't want to talk too much about the book, but just entrepreneur itself is big amongst us. So I'm humbled just to be a part of this connection right here. And then I can't wait to see what it's going to do and who it's going to change and who it's going to help. So that's my 2 cents.
So y'all give it up for John. Give it up for John. Yeah, my peeps, John in the building. John, we appreciate you and so super excited that you said yes and connected with us. You guys, make sure you guys, so after the live goes off, the guys will put their information in the chat. Be sure to connect with your author directly to grab your autographed copy of the book at the introductory price. Again, it's not going to last with the introductory pricing. Grab that book so you can have it in hand. It is a good, strong manual for business. So the next person coming to the stage, listen, this guy, he came through us through my guy, Jason Williams, the voice of DFG. He came to us through him, talked so just when he expressed the caliber of man that he was to Jason Thibodeau and myself, we were like, we need to meet this cat. You saying it, you ain't like he's the godfather or something. We need to meet him, see what's really going on. Who is this guy you talk about and you speak so highly of? And once he came on board with us, he came in adding value like crazy, supporting the guys, helping them to get clear on some things, get an understanding of what this really means that's bigger than just the writing itself. A very solid guy, family man, business guy, super huge kudos to him. He has his own book that will be soon following, that's coming out here very, very soon. It's in editing right now. Let's give it up for David Jackson III in the building. David.
Thank you so very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So excited to have you. Thank you for being a part of the project. Thank you for being the leader that you are, the value adder that you are. Super grateful for you being able to be a part of it. I know your schedule is crazy busy with your business and everything you have going on. So let us know about your journey with this book. The other books, like the guy said previously, they were more relational centered, but this, like you said, this was more down your street when it came to business. So talk to us about your journey with the book, David.
So for me, it was a journey of reflection and recognition. Very often as we in our community sometimes don't get this side of the story. We don't get that insight of the significance of developing business acumen, the significance of networking, connecting, building relationships, and all of those things. We just kind of think, oh, we'll just figure it out. And once we get out there, we do like everybody else does. We kind of bump our heads and we fall down. And the sad part is when we try to dust ourselves off and we look around, very often we don't see people who look like us, who we can connect with and say, hey, I'm struggling here. I need help there.
Right.
And get it in a way that comes back to me in a language that I understand. So as I went on this journey, I thought about my experiences and how I had to kind of cultivate. And when I went to look for help, sometimes people were like, yeah, no, yeah, I can't sponsor you. I can't do this. I can't do that. I don't want to waste my capital. I don't want to put my name out there. And you're just struggling to get traction, and you're struggling to get there. So that's the reflection part of learning. And now the journey part for me is being able to help someone else by sharing a little bit about my experience. Because as others have said, if I can keep you from falling down, busting your head, having to get that Band-Aid, it makes life so much easier. And so I'm at that point now where it is just a joy and a pleasure to meet incredible people like all of the people on this team, to be able to work with you, to continue to elevate our community, give back to our community, open doors, make ways. So as we continue this journey, we all rise together. It's not just about me, but it's about us. And so that was my journey. That was my experience. And it's been an incredible journey. And I couldn't have done it with a greater group of people. So thank you all for letting me take this journey with you.
I know that's right. I know that's right. So David, while I got you, let's talk about this a little bit. So your chapter is called Networking Like a Boss, Building Powerful Connections. There's a lot of things that what I love about how you unpacked your chapter is you gave a lot of subtitles inside of your chapter that kind of gave people some more details about networking, how to strategically align yourself with purpose, talking about your historic background, former military, and things like that. And you also talked about something personal that you have from your actual company, the strategic networking system, a new approach. That is something that's a registered trademark of yours. So I want you to talk a little tiny bit, just give them a little itty bitty, just a little tiny taste of the cake.
Okay.
That you talk about with that new strategic networking system. I love it. I absolutely love it, but I definitely don't want to give it away.
So don't want to get too deep, but here's the reality. Contrary to what we think, people do not buy things from companies, especially when they're major purchases, major transactions, things of that nature. It's about relationships. We can go in there and we know exactly what car we want. We know the model. We've done all the research. We know there's only one in the area. We go to that car lot. And if we have a poor experience with the salesperson, we'll turn around and walk away. So what we got to understand is we've got to build powerful, intentional relationships. You've got to deal with the value proposition. People network with you, people connect with you because they see value. And you've got to be able to generate value for them, as well as solve problems for them. So the system talks about being intentional and developing your relationships, being strategic. You can go, people tell you about guerrilla marketing. Always have a card, always have a this, always have a that. And I just guarantee you, I could take a survey of all the people here. You probably passed out thousands of business cards, and ain't nobody called you yet.
Right.
Ain't nobody called you yet.
Right.
You're leaving them in places, sticking them here. Stop. Have a very strategic plan. Know who you're trying to connect with. Have a plan to engage them versus just the shotgun effect. If you're very strategic, you can build those relationships. You can build a powerful network that helps you achieve your goals and objectives. And we kind of introduced that in the book, in the chapter about networking like a boss, and helping people to understand that if you're not intentional, if you're not relational, If you are not aligning your networking to your business goals and objectives, you are wasting time. And as we all know, time is what, folks?
Not something you can get back. The only commodity we
It's
cannot
the
get
only,
back.
exactly right, Coffee. It's money, and it is also the only thing you cannot get back. So
Absolutely.
when you invest that time, you really need to be very intentional about how you're doing it. And that's what we focus on in the chapter. It's kind of giving you a blueprint to say, how do I build these connections? How do I build these relationships? And how do I move the needle forward?
I love it. I love it. Thank you, David. Ramon had an interesting chapter as well. The path to freedom, entrepreneurialism, or self-employment. You know, Ramon, when you did this chapter, you did a lot kind of like with the same kind of concept of thinking as far as um, putting out the subtitles to give people more specific, detailed information on these nuances and steps that you have to take. There's something that you have in here that kind of was really, really interesting. Navigating the turbulent waters of self-employment in the insurance and financial services industry. Not to get into a whole bunch of details about yours, but I want you to kind of speak to the bullet points that you talked about without giving all of it away. Just a little bit here for about 3 to 5 minutes, real quick.
You know, I can relate to what Mr. David was saying, man. That was powerful. The way you spoke and building relationships and being significant. That's what it's all about. So in business, Coffee, most people say I'm a boss, so I can do what I want when I want. But we cannot forget the work part, because as an employee, right, you're working for the man and you have that guaranteed salary. As a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you're not.
Mm-hmm,
You create your income. So it's not a 9 to 5 deal.
mm-hmm,
So when you're navigating through those rough times, you have to remember the why and the reason why you're doing it.
mm-hmm,
Right. So while you're adding value to others, you also building something, creating something, understanding the end goal as you moving forward. And it gets rough,
mm-hmm,
right? Entrepreneurs, sometimes you want to quit. You cry. You get frustrated. You wonder if it's going to work. You get scared. But the difference is you move forward in spite of that, because your goals and dreams need to be bigger than everything in between. Your challenges, your excuses, everything in between. There's no shortage of money. There's plenty of money out there. We just got to go get it. But again, if we are afraid to go through that path, that's why I love this subject so much, the path to freedom, because that's the end goal, the freedom, and being significant to others, add the value to others, and continue to push forward no matter what. Because when you have goals, you got to keep going. And there's a quote that Denzel Washington, my man Washington, says, between goals and achievement, there's discipline and consistency.
wow.
If you're disciplined and you're consistent and you believe, I'm all about believing. I'm all about believing and about mindset. Mindset is everything. When you told me it's not going to happen, maybe it's going to take me 10 years, maybe take you one, but I'm getting it, because it's not a race, it's a marathon. The only time you're going to lose is when you quit.
Mm-hmm,
So I try to convey that in my book. I mean, I know I'm not saying it exactly the way it is, but that's just that passion that you got to have for what you want and what you believe in. And if you persevere and you believe and you keep pushing forward, you'll be amazed what we can all accomplish
yes,
as individuals.
I love it.
So, hopefully I cover some of what you really want. I don't want to go into too much into details, but it's all about that freedom. It's all about that end goal. It's all about telling you, like David said, you can do it. You have to believe in you, because so many people are afraid to jump.
Yes.
And at some point, you have to jump. You know why? Because we all going to end up in the cemetery one day. And I had a story once that said, you know how many doctors are there? How many singers? How many celebrities? How many business people? And they just never pushed. They just never jumped. They were just dreaming about it.
Mm-hmm,
And that hurts, man. I'd rather fail forward a million times and say, hey, I gave it a shot. I gave it my all.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised where you're going to end up. I'm still fighting. I was born to fight, and I was born to win.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Ramon. So
You're very
John is
welcome.
actually driving. I definitely don't want him to come off mute, but his
Who?
chapter, John, he's actually driving. I definitely don't want him to come off mute while he's driving, but his chapter is on what's called the art of disruption, creating an irresistible product or service that is beyond the norm. He does a lot of information and details in here that you guys can utilize for your brand, for the building of your brand, for the execution, and all the things that you need to make sure that your brand is a really, really stellar, has a stellar identity, and it steps out of what the normal expectation is for business. So we're gonna let him keep driving because I definitely don't want him to come off mute and try to elaborate on his while he's actually en route. So I'm going to move on to my next writer, who is Mr. Jason Thibodeau. Are you stationary?
Yeah. I'm not driving right now. I'm sitting in the car though, but I'm not driving.
Okay. So go ahead and give us a snippet on what's going on with your chapter, John.
Okay. The art of disruption. As I listen to the gentleman talk, and I think everything they're saying is right on point. One thing I've discovered just being in business and working for myself for quite about 26 years now, and more than one business, it's the more you add to yourself, the more you attract, for one. The more you build yourself, me being in fitness, competitions, all these type of things, the more you build yourself and add to yourself, create value to yourself, you don't have to go get so much. It'll come to you. It'll find a way. You become a necessity. You become value, all that type of thing. So that's what I talk about. And because with this mental health and all these things going on, I really wanted to go just a little bit deeper from how I work and what I've been doing for years to reach people. Because that's why I think this book, when I said it was major, the connection, the creation, and all this, the contribution, so many different variables of how y'all put it together, I think it's great. And everybody's kind of bringing a different angle on it. That's what I really think is like super. So the more you add to yourself first, you can give out. You got to stay full. One of my things is, I'll just leave it with this, is as you keep your cup full, what's in the cup is for you, and the overflow is for everybody else. So I work on staying full. I work on staying full all the time. The word never goes dry. So I stay full and I can give. So that's why I think it's really, I think it's going to really help somebody. Because the hardest thing to us sometimes is to stay full because we want to give. Right. But you got to keep it in order. You stay full first, and the overflow is for everybody else.
I love it. Thank you, John. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Awesome. So let's head over to Jason Thibodeau. Thank you again, John, for that. That was amazing. I love what you said about being full, staying full, so that you can give out without emptying who you are out of your system. Jason, in your chapter, you do a lot. You tell a lot of telltale details about what's going on with CEOs and leaders within organizations. So your chapter is called The Maverick Mindset, Breaking Free from Corporate Restraints. Tell us a bit about your chapter.
Well, I mean, the first thing you got to understand is what that corporate constraint usually is, and is that they want more of your worker mindset. They want more of the do as you're told, don't talk back. If I ask you to do something, just basically just do it, right? A lot of these corporations, not all of them, but a lot of these big corporations, they preach that they want you to have a life outside of the company, but that life that they want you to have outside of the company is usually go on a vacation or two and then come back to work, right? Usually it's not anything that would actually build any type of generational wealth for you or your own family, because they want you to be dependent on them. So, for all of your finances and all of your, all the things that you want to do in life. And I started noticing that more and more when I was a little younger. And what I talk about in the chapter is how even at the different jobs in the different stages of different corporate jobs that I had, how it affected me from, you know, the standpoint of at times I felt like I was choked down. How I used that to actually change that mindset. How I used that mindset that I grew from, you know, that I grew onto the next job that I actually went to, right? And also talk about the challenges of when you change that mindset. So when you actually grow yourself and you get more of an entrepreneurial mindset, more into running your own business, taking care of your own things outside of that corporation, you know, that causes additional challenges as well. Right. So that's one of the things that I talk about in the chapter. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I really want you to read it and understand the challenges that I went through and how it actually changed me and how I use that to my advantage. Right. And also understand the challenges that are going to come when you continue to grow with your mindset.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. His chapter is really, really dope, y'all. Everybody's chapter is dope and it's all good. But if you're in corporate and you really want to branch out, this would be a fantastic chapter for you to really, really hone in on. And then to piggyback off of that, Vincent Melvin, the Alpha Strategy, Leadership Lessons from Wolves. Now, this is a really, really, really interesting chapter because it encompasses a lot of information. And I love the analogies. I'm not going to give them away at all, but there's some really, really powerful analogies in his chapter that he talks about. And I love the whole book. I'll be honest with y'all. This was really, really a great, strong publication. But Vincent, tell us a little bit about what you actually expounded on in your chapter.
Okay,
Lessons,
okay, Koffe.
leadership lessons from wolves.
Well, first off, the trending thing on social media and just in conversations, even amongst the guys, everybody wants to be an alpha.
Mhm,
But how many people actually know what a alpha is?
mhm,
And even when I'm sitting here and I was expounding in the chapter and I was sitting here looking at a lot of the things what people think are qualities that make a alpha is really not.
mhm, mhm,
And through the chapter, I started to notice that, you know, a lot of times true alphas, and I'm gonna stop here and I ain't gonna expound too much in it, are giving. John made a good point earlier about the overflow.
mhm.
And that's what the mindset, even with wolves, the alpha is not the one that's always in the front. He's actually in the back.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna stop right there. I don't want to get too good into it too much, but it's just something to think about. Like a lot of times, a lot of people worry about trying to run to the forefront, but sometimes pulling back a little bit, you can see the whole board a lot better.
Mhm.
And that's the mindset. And that's coming from animals. So it
Mhm.
makes you question, like, man, hey, they might know something that we
You don't know.
haven't
Right,
learned yet.
right. Absolutely. 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 And I love how you actually took the animal kingdom and incorporated it into the chapter. I thought that was brilliant because when and just for you guys to know, I do a lot of creative content. So I actually create the content, the chapter titles and everything. Then I run it through Jason, because Jason does a lot of media stuff, and then I run it through another PR group that we utilize to see if it makes sense to the marketplace. We do market testing, and they always say, "How you come up with these chapter titles?" I'm like, I don't know. It's just in me. But the wolves, when he used the animal kingdom to really expound on, in my brain, when I was thinking about wolves, I'm thinking about wolves from a perspective of human wolves. I wasn't thinking about it from the animal kingdom. But when he interjected the animal kingdom into there, I was like, oh man, this is clean. This is clean. I was like, yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So kudos to you, to everybody did a bang up job. I
Thank you,
cannot
Carl.
wait
Thank
for
you.
y'all to get this book in your hand. It is really, really brilliant. So lastly, before we get off the grid tonight, we definitely don't want to prolong the hour. We wanted to honor the men's time on tonight. They have very busy schedule. Some of them are entrepreneurs. Some of them are full-fledged entrepreneurs, so they have very, very heavy schedules. So for them to be able to hang out with us tonight, we're super appreciative. Clifton was the only one that was able to be with us. He literally took a pastoral position in a new city. He was here in Houston. He got a pastoral position in a new city. And so he's been running ever since. Every time we have a meeting, he's always in some kind of meeting and just multitasking. And Jason Williams had a major conference on this week. So that's why he had to come in and out real quickly as well, because we definitely want to hear more from those two. But we'll be hearing from them in the future for sure. But Earl, holla at us. Earl did a chapter called Creative Impact, leaning into your personality to build a brand. Really, 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 really solid content in your chapter. And you talked about something that Vincent talked about here just briefly, but I want you to expound on it just a little bit without giving away too much. But you talked about the impact of social media in your chapter. Go ahead and chop it up with us a little bit about what's going on inside of your chapter.
Well, my chapter, oh, hold on. My daughter just came in and kind of threw me off, man. Um, my chapter is basically just about, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm so sorry, Koffe. She just threw me off. But my chapter basically really just talked about, you know, just how to conduct yourself on social media and how to just go with the flow, man. Just be yourself. Like, we all have our own personalities. We're all, individuals. The creator gave us gifts, and through our gifts makes us who we are. So, you know, I I'm a firm believer of just being you, just doing you, being yourself, and speaking to people, as you are. Don't try to be. Uh, if you're not corporate, don't try to be corporate. Just be yourself. If you're not a thug, don't be a thug. Be yourself. Like so for instance, like I sold insurance, insurance agent in New York. So, when I went to Mass Mutual, of course I had to wear my suit and ties and stuff like that, but I was myself. When I went and I did my prospecting, I was myself. Like I'm not a dummy. My uncle taught me the dictionary, so I know some good words. So like I'm a balance between, corporate and, you know, the projects. And I brought the projects into, if it makes sense, I brought the projects into, because the projects made me who I am. So I brought that into the corporate world. And people love me. Like, even today, like I bring that same mentality everywhere. And that's pretty much what it's about, man. I just broke it down like that.
I love it. I love it. I appreciate that for sure. So, guys, listen, we have come to the top of the hour. It has been a phenomenal opportunity to hear from these exceptional men about this amazing project that they've just launched today and hit the international bestsellers list. Again, kudos to them on an amazing job. Congratulations. You guys are so, so phenomenal. So phenomenal. Um, super excited about y'all. Y'all are rocking it out and killing the game, doing what bosses do, period. Okay? Bosses, period. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the integrity. I appreciate how amazing you guys are. Thank you again for your yes. Definitely, everybody, when we get off of here, they're going to go on to the actual stream on my page and add their contact information for you guys to be able to connect with them directly. So if you have any questions, you want to know more information, you want to contact them about something specific pertaining to their chapter, hit them up. They're available for podcasting. They're available for in-person interviews. We just got an actual invitation to be in a magazine today. So we're looking at how we can get everybody's excerpts inside of that magazine and work that out for them on this project. And so connect with them. If you want them to come and do a live event or come and connect with you guys for some business, at an event that you're having, connect with them and let them know. I'm sure they'll be, if they're able to, they'll come out and add value to the communities that you guys have. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, tapping in, and being a part of the segment on tonight. Be sure to connect and check us out for another edition of the P. Koffe Brown Show. Grace and peace until next time, guys. Good night.